Hey, how's it's everyone? So not just average Joe. I kind of wanted to chat a little bit about Chrom. I don't know if I would say underappreciated is the word, but he is kind of underrated. So he has decent attack stat and a decent defense stat, and he has a low speed stat and a abysmal resistance stat with a nice HP stat to boot. So he's kind of like in the mold of an Arden, kind of like a weaker, a less a lesser mobile infantry Arden. That's kind of like the build I would say that he's coming in with. So you can build Chrom kind of like in 3 ways. I would probably say that there's a player face Chrom that you can build an enemy face Chrom, and then more of a supported Chrom. Now player face and enemy face means that these units are better off in a certain phase, and the player phase, that means they're better off when they initiate an attack, and enemy phase means they're better off taking hits, and allowing them to take advantage of that. Now, Chrom, I gave him the Brave Sword Plus. I wanted to make him a player phase unit because I just don't generally trust slow units that have a decent amount of defense stat, because they get dismantled by magic, which is, it comes up pretty often. But anyways, so I gave him Brave Sword Plus, and that combos well with Death Blow. Now, as good as Death Blow, Brave Sword and Death Blow, those two in and of themselves are more meant for player face use, because Brave Sword is not very strong, but it does create a ×2 attack, and Death Blow will combo with the Brave Sword, giving you a plus 12 in total in your damage output before calculations. But I would argue Fury is actually might be a better skill, because it's more synergistic with the B skills and the seal that I have with Chrom. But Death Blow and Brave Sword. I guess you can use other swords like this, Forge Slaying Sword or something, make him bulkier, give him more defense, and then I guess you could do that, but that makes him more of a player, enemy face unit as opposed to a player face unit anyway. This is almost purely player face. So his B skill, I gave him Desperation. Now before anything, you need to realize that ever since the Brash Assault Seal came out, that's basically given a lot of units the opportunity to have an Arden like initiation of attack, because Arden's follow-up ring allows him to quad anytime, I think above 50% HP, and basically since Brash Assault under 50% HP makes a guaranteed follow-up attack, and Desperation's effect would mean that this follow-up attack would come right away before, and then the unit can initiate their counter attack. So that's kind of like my thought process when I was making this, more player face Chrom. If not, you can go Swordbreaker. Breakers are one of those skills that are kind of like both phases. You can use them in an enemy and player face. Player face as well, and this will give him an opportunity to quad sword units, or allow him to not get doubled by sword units on an enemy face. I think that's more the reason why you give him a Swordbreaker, but it's not nearly as useful as a Desperation Brash Assault combo. The only issue is like getting him to that low health, right? So if you were to put a support skill, it would be Reciprocal Aid or Ardent Sacrifice, trying just your best to get him to a lower HP each time, have him take a hit. Aether is not very useful, but I am using it because of Tempest Trials and Arena Assault and stuff. That's kind of like why I'm keeping it. But ideally, either Glimmer because of his nice attack stat, or you give him Draconic Aura because of his nice attack stat. Glimmer may not be as reliable as Draconic Aura, because Draconic Aura is a set calculation that you can always do, or Dragon Fang if you're feeling ambitious. I find like with quad units, at most 3 cooldown, because then if they hit Desperation, that can activate at the 4th attack, I think. So that's just my thoughts, obviously. If not, you can always go Bonfire or Ignis, either 15 damage for Bonfire with my Chrom right now, or 25 with Ignis. I don't know. I don't necessarily know his stats, and it really depends on your IVs at 5-star max or just a 5-star. But you know, that's not too bad either. I would kind of lean towards Ignis a little bit more, but it is a longer cooldown. So yeah, that's almost everything that I kind of want to talk about. The only thing that's kind of different is the C skill. Now, if you want him to be really player phase unit, you give him threat and defense. I had threat and attack because of training reasons, but threat and defense with the death blow at like before damage calculations, it's a plus 11 if the threat and defense activates. So that creates, you know, plus 11 in your damage output with the death blow 3, which is amazing. If not, you can kind of make him sort of supportive, like, you know, give him infantry pulse because of his nice HP. You can give him panic ploy because of his nice HP. However, whatever have you, but this is, you know, more, I'm leaning more towards like a player face unit, Chrom. If anything, reposition's also not too bad, but you would really want him to hit the lower HP in order to kind of spam the quad attacks, and not a lot of units will be able to take that. There will be some, but you know, not a lot. And that's why I said Fury is more synergistic, because you lose 6 damage every turn. So that's more of a reliable way, quote unquote, to hit the Desperation and the Brash Assault range. But yeah, that's gonna be everything. Thank you for listening, watching, whatever. Those are my ideas for player face Chrom. Now there's enemy face Chrom, and that's a little bit different, but I'm gonna go to that in the next video. So thank you for watching. Later days.